Why don't we look at the second issue that the new administration promised we should expect change in? And that's the issue of corruption. Let's even start a bit earlier. What is corruption? Corruption is the use of or the attempt to use the bottleneck in a system, or even the attempt to create any bottlenecks in a system for private profit or personal gain. There's a different type of corruption as well in Nigeria. It is the perversion of or the attempt to pervert the legal or right use of a system for private profit or personal gain. So we have procurement laws, we have the right way that procurement should occur, especially in weapons. But we know what happened under the previous National Security Advisor, that a lot of pseudo contracts, a lot of fake contracts were given out, including contracts for prayers, in order to be able to benefit privately or personally. That is also corruption. And you find a mixture of these two types at play usually in Nigeria. But has Nigeria always been corrupt? Let me ask you, is there a single society on earth that has no corruption? Turn to Transparency International's Corruption Perception Index, which goes from 0, extremely, completely corrupt, to 100, totally clean. There is no country on 0, and there is no country on 100. Take Denmark, that is taken to be the least corrupt country on earth. Their Corruption Perception Index comes out at 95. So if it's 95, they're telling you to say out of every 100, you would at least find 5 corrupt people. Just in a very simplistic way of looking at it. Nigeria, that is on 27, is telling you that out of every 100, you will struggle to find 27 that are clean. So corruption will always be with us. It is with us, but we're looking to curb corruption, therefore, because we can control corruption and put it at a level where it does not hamper development efforts, where law enforcement and prevention can catch up with those who are being corrupt, and they can also be accordingly punished. The same way we should do with any crime of deviance in society, that we should be able to track them, trace them, take them before the law, and get them convicted and taken out of society for correction. Of all administrations we've had since independence, this is the first one ever to be voted in on the mantra of dealing with corruption. Look at it, all the previous ones who have come have usually said, either using the barrel of the gun, the reason why I took over so-and-so's administration is because they were corrupt. So in terms of a mandate for change, this administration has something that most other administrations never had. In terms of political will to fight corruption, this administration has the greatest political will. They are the first ever where the president and vice president will declare their assets publicly. So you must give them a huge plus for doing that. Now comes the question, how effective has the fight against corruption been? Immediately, I will jump on the BVN story and saying that the fact that BVN was fully implemented under this administration, it should be kudos to this administration. And I'm sure somebody will say, hey, but this was already ongoing before the administration came in. Same thing you could say for telecoms and licensing. It already started under Abacha. But the man who made it happen finally was Olusegun Obasanjo. What about the second thing? The Treasury single account. Treasury single account being put in place makes it difficult for you to warehouse in a secret account money that should have accrued to the Federation account in order for you to be able to, with your cronies, then siphon that money out. So again, this is important structural change that has been made by this administration towards dealing with the issue of corruption. This administration also has begun to make some changes in the administration of justice system, especially around the courts, which is making it possible for certain types of cases to be moved through the court system a lot faster than it was before. Most people don't know. But are there missed opportunities with this administration? Yes. There were so many laws that were passed by the previous assembly that could have helped the fight against corruption that this new administration did not assent to, and therefore it lapsed. So how well are we doing on the issue of corruption? Having had the mandate from the people and also having the political will to fight corruption, the next thing that you would expect is that there would be a clear vision for change expressed. Why should I fight corruption is what the ordinary person says. Why should I fight corruption? What change would that mean for my life? What will that add to me? Nobody can say, this is what the president of Nigeria has said, that if you fight corruption, these are the benefits that you're going to get. Also, the government, like all of its predecessors, has not articulated a clear strategy for fighting corruption. Without that strategy, how do you operationalize what you want to do? Because there's no strategy, we're also not systematically engaging the stakeholders who should be part of the fight against corruption. What does the president want the business community to do? What does the president want CSOs and NGOs to do? What does the president want faith-based organizations to do? What does the president want professionals to do? What does the president want public servants to do? Except you articulate all of those things very clearly in a strategy, it will be very difficult for all the people who want to support what the president is aiming at to be part of it. So if I'm going to give this administration a mark out of 5 on the fight against corruption, I'm afraid it will be a bit pessimistic.